Hi, this is Dave again at TitleSearch.com and AFX Title. So why wouldn't a lien show on a property title if it's on the property? Well, there's a couple of scenarios where there's a valid lien against that property that it's not going to show up on a basic title search. First of all, if there was a typographical error on the recording that went to the land records. For example, if the name on the lien was entered incorrectly, then when it goes into the land records, it'll be filed. Somebody's searching for title, they may not know to search for that other name, especially if it's a large variation. If there was a typographical error on the legal description of the property, look, you have a property, it's owned by Joe Smith, you pull all the liens for Joe Smith, you find this lien. This lien document is located, but then when you look at the legal description and it's not the property that is being searched, it's going to be discarded. So one of the things that a certified title abstractor will do is to look at the legal description, if there is a difference, to see if it's likely a typographical error or a variation of the actual property that's being searched or the subject property. That's one of the things that a searcher will do to kind of try to catch a wide net to collect all of the liens that could be on the property. The idea of a title search is to try to find everything that possibly could affect the property and then filter those out later and let the client decide, okay, this isn't actually a lien. If it's issued on an APN number instead of a legal description, that's another big variation. Sometimes a lien will be filed without a full legal. The county in most cases is not supposed to let that go through, but if they do, that lien will be in the records but not associated with the correct property because the APN number might not be as easy to decipher for which property it goes to. Here's another scenario. You have a property that for some period of time had an additional owner associated with it. Let's say Joe Smith owned the property, but for about 4 months he gave a little piece of the property to Bob Brown and then took it away from Bob Brown, or if it was transferred back. During that period of time, Bob Brown put a lien on the property, or he had a judgment against him that attached to the property. Now when you do a search, you don't see Bob Brown as the owner because currently he's not. And when you look back in the chain of title, he may not show up because it was just a side transfer, or it could have been a wild deed. If that happens, that lien may not be easily to show that it attached to that property during that period of time. So again, an experienced title searcher, a certified title abstractor, is going to look at these scenarios to see, look, was anybody else on title during this period, and then search for that name as well. That's one of the reasons why reading through all the documents that go into a title search is important, not just looking at the electronic data records or the index, because there may be more behind the scenes that's only going to be seen by pulling up the actual deed or the actual mortgage to see if other names go with it. That's another example. If you have a mortgage who has an additional borrower or co-signer or somebody else that shows up on that mortgage, even if they're not on the deed, a lien or a judgment against that person might be claimed against a property. Is it going to stick? I don't know. But the lien holder or the judgment creditor is certainly going to make an issue of trying to land it on that property. So those are a couple examples of ways that a lien can attached to a property with not apparently showing up on title. Some of them can be deciphered by professional, experienced, and seasoned title abstractor will find these. In some cases, it's a needle in a haystack. So make sure you look really hard at your liens. Don't just use electronic records, and you're going to find most of the ones that will affect the property.